Chapter 5. Waiting for a bone. At the end of 6 weeks, when the doctor was dressing my leg and had it bared, he sent for Dr. Gurley. When he came in, they talked in medical terms. Dr. Wheeling explained that he was satisfied my leg could be saved. At the end of their conversation, I said, "Yes, doctor, you have made a good job of it. Now it only wants time." He snapped, "Can you understand what we were saying?" "No, doctor, but I can read the pictures of your thoughts." "Just what do you mean?" "Well, it is this way. Man cannot express anything he cannot first see through his mental vision, and I read those pictures." "Oh, yes, no matter what anyone is thinking, they must see in pictures, and as they see, so do I. I don't believe it, but you had the right answer to the things we were saying. You know too damn much, Stephenson. I do believe you can hypnotize people. You have all the nurses and me catering to you as if you were a king, and you are just a minor." To the nurse he said, "Be good to him, but take him to his room. We don't have time to listen to his philosophy today." Many years later, Stephenson would write this comment about his gift of mind reading. A person said to me a few days ago, "You must have lots of good friends." I wonder sometimes if I have one true friend for myself alone, and not for what I can do for them. My one regret in life is that I read the secret thoughts of others too clearly for my own peace of mind. As their thoughts materialize into pictures before me, I wish it were not so. Some of them make me sad. From then on, I was to go to the dressing room once a week. Dr. Wheeling seemed to avoid me from this time on, except that every morning he would look through the door of the porch and call out, "Good morning, Stephenson." Dr. Gurley came in one morning, sat down and asked, "Stephenson, where did you get this something you have that no one I ever met has? You have me thinking, as I never have before." Just then Dr. Wheeling came in. "Oh, I see. Have company." Dr. Gurley got to his feet. Dr. Wheeling sat down and asked, "Stephenson, do you know what we are waiting for before we can operate?" "Yes, for some poor fellow to lose a leg. I hope no one has to have an accident just for my sake. I wanted to tell you what to expect, but you are a step ahead of me." Dr. Gurley, still standing and listening, asked, "What religion do you belong to? What religion do I have? I have none. I am neither Catholic nor Protestant. I don't think there is a man who could know enough to tell me how I should live. I just live as I see life. I make my own laws of life and live accordingly. Too deep for me. We will have more of this. You are going to be with us for a long time, Stephenson. We don't have men like you very often." I asked, "You have had others like me before?" "No, never. He left. I did not see either doctor again for 2 weeks. Time went on he was not lonesome. I did not complain, nor did I wish that someone would soon lose a leg. No, I could wait. Of course, in between times with the doctors, I was talking to others, but the doctors made me promise not to talk to the nurses too much on these subjects. I told them I never have yet, and I always measure the capacity of the other person's mind before I talk." "You do?" "Yes." He then sent me to my bed once more, but when the nurse was leaving he told her, "Put him in a wheelchair. Let him stir around the hospital a little. It will do him good." All this time Miss Delahan was giving me all the attention possible. It seemed she could not do enough for me. One day she came into my porch, sat down and confided, "I am so tired. I thought I would come in and rest with you and hear some of the things the doctors are always talking about. You have never told me my future. Please talk to me the way you talk to them." I explained that I would not talk to her, as I did the doctors, because she was a practicing Catholic, and I felt strongly about disturbing anyone's beliefs. "I think too much of you to hurt you in the least. So, let's forget this. Dr. Gurley just told me the other day that it was the best thing that ever happened when I exposed the last superintendent, and how you had sent in an application for this position only 1 week before the whole thing blew up. You don't know how much you are thought of in the hospital. Never try to find out, or you may lose your foothold on the ground. Self-conceit is a dangerous position to be in. Lady, I think you are wonderful. Mr. Stephenson, I had the blues when I came in to see you, but now I feel a new life, a good feeling. Just by listening to you talk seems to lift me up. I can truthfully say, Miss Delahan, you have lifted me out of the blues with your little kindnesses, so it's 50-50. "I wish," said she, "I could come and sit with you more often. I said, "Your duty is not only to one, you have many under your care. Go spread your sunshine for all. They all need it. Only don't forget me, I need you too." When she left, another nurse came in. "What did Miss Delahan say to you, Mr. Stephenson?" I tried to listen, but could not make anything out of what she said. Knowing the difficulties that can occur between superintendents and nurses, I told her that Miss Delahan had nothing but good to say of the nurses, and that I thought they were all wonderful nurses too. Well, that stopped that. She left with something to think about because she did not like Miss Delahan and was next in line for her position. In a week I had the reward for my little lie. Mrs. Burnham came to me one morning and said, "Mr. Stephenson, I had a long talk with Miss Delahan yesterday, and I have changed my feelings toward her. She is all you said she was, and I know we will be friends for all time." I replied, "You need not worry. She will only be here about 16 months more. Then you will step into her place. Believe me, lady, you will have to go some to fill the vacancy she causes when she turns the position over to you. Her memory will go on as long as this hospital is here. Florence Nightingale will live on in every nurse who aspires to be as Miss Delahan." I sent her away with something to think about that morning too. That was the only recreation I had in the hospital, talking and saying things that made people think. During this time of waiting, I found time to write stories and poetry for the nurses and became a kind of hero to the hospital staff. Chapter 6. My first operation. After the doctor dressed my leg and left me one Sunday morning, I had a week of undisturbed quiet, seeing only nurses when necessary. The following Saturday night I had the blues. I did not want to see anyone or talk to anyone. About 7 o'clock Miss Delahan came in and said, "Mr. Stephenson, I have bad reports about you today. It's not like you to be down after being the means of lifting everyone else up." "What's the reason for this?" "I don't know, but I will get over it. I have had these spells a few times in my life. You know, I have been here for nearly 9 months, and it seems I am just waiting. Waiting for what? For some poor soul to have an accident that he might give me a bone. I feel guilty somewhere inside of me. I try to live this feeling down, but it comes to the surface once in a while." Miss Delahan suggested, "How about some homemade donuts and a cup of American coffee?" "That sounds good to me." She left and soon returned with a tray of donuts, coffee, cream, and sugar. Smiling, she said, "I hope this will clear the blues away." I was just ready to enjoy my feast. I had the first donut within half an inch of my mouth when a voice warned, "Don't you dare!" I looked up, and there stood a nurse with a large glass in her hand. She spoke to Miss Delahan. "We must hurry. They are shipping a leg from Spangler, and it will be here in 3 hours." So she took the tray from me, gave it to the other patients on the porch, got the razor and bandages, and they had a busy time. The doctor came in and asked, "Are you ready?" "Yes. We have put this leg where it will be all right until morning so you can get prepared. It will be a long operation. I will have to have some rest myself before I do the job." "All right, doctor." The nurse and I were busy all night, and the salts kept me so occupied I forgot the blues, and the donuts too. I was ready for anything. The next morning a minister came into the ward and asked for Mr. Stephenson. The patients pointed to me. "Good morning, Stephenson." "Good morning." He then told me that Dr. Wheeling had sent for him to come and pray for me, and with me for the help I needed in this critical moment. I said quietly, "There must be some mistake here. I did not tell Dr. Wheeling to send for you, neither did he ask my permission. You see, I don't think as you do. I don't live as you do. I never pray. If I did, and God would not listen to me but would listen to you, there would be something wrong somewhere. It is I who am going through this ordeal. I cannot hire a substitute. I don't want you to pray for me." I could see that he was losing his temper. I said, "You are losing your temper. You never should do that. You are a minister." "This is outrageous," he said, and left. Went to Dr. Wheeling and told him he felt insulted. In 10 minutes the doctor came with a smile and asked, "Do you want your people notified?" "Why should I? I'm not worried. Why should I cause them worry?" "All right, we are ready for you, and I am just as much ready as you are. Nurse, bring him in 10 minutes. So I got my first ride on the 4-wheeled barrow for my first operation. They put me on the table and strapped me down. I heard the doctor say, "Administer the ether." She did. I made up my mind that I would take it quietly. I took one long, easy breath after another. I heard the doctor ask, "Is he taking it all right, nurse?" "Yes." Then I saw millions of little wheels going at tremendous speed. As I watched them, they seemed to mold into one great big wheel. I never saw such a big wheel in all my life. The next thing I knew, it was gaining speed when all at once the thing broke. Then I knew no more until about 6 o'clock that night. I was out from 8 in the morning until 6 in the evening. They had put me in the ward. And the next morning, I was sitting up in bed when the doctor came in and asked, "How are you feeling?" 100%. We had a hard day yesterday, Stephenson. Oh, not me. You had. I had a good sleep out of it. You don't feel sick this morning? No, not a bit. I would like breakfast, but the nurse says I am not allowed. The nurse came behind the screen at that time. Did Stephenson vomit coming out of the ether last night? No. Did he sleep at all? The night nurse reported that I slept all night. Then give him some tea and toast. I have never seen anything like it. I am wondering, Stephenson, if you are human. You lay on that table 5 hours. Not a move from a muscle, from the bowels, or from the bladder. I never saw such willpower in any man. All right, doctor, rub it in. I want to ask you a question. What nationality was the man who gave me his bone? I think he was Irish. Oh, I cautioned. Don't you know the Irish don't like the English any more than the English like the Irish? I'm afraid we won't agree, but we will wait and see. Don't say that, Stephenson. I put in a hard day's work for you yesterday. All I can say, doctor, is I hope we can agree. He left me. If any man suffered during the next 2 weeks, I did. Every night, as soon as the sun went down, a grinding started in my head, just like an organ, and someone turning. The bone seemed to be splitting into small pieces. No sleep. Only a few hours in the afternoon. The nights were hell. After 2 weeks, I asked the doctor to give me something to help me sleep. He said he had to be careful what he gave me for fear of pneumonia, but he would send me a pill he thought would not raise my temperature. At 7 that evening, he brought it himself. It was a large white pill. I looked at it, smiled, and said, "Thank you, doctor. I hope I can sleep on it. I knew it was just a soda pill." At 9 o'clock, the nurse said, "Mr. Stephenson, it is time for your pill." "Yes, I know. Bring me a glass of water, and I hope it will put me to sleep. I am so tired of staying awake." "I hope so too. I know you have suffered." So I drank the water, wrapped the soda pill in a piece of paper, and put it under my pillow. It was not 15 minutes before I was sound asleep. I woke the next morning feeling like a new person. Soon the doctor came in. The first thing he asked was, "How did you sleep?" "Doctor, that was the most wonderful pill. Why didn't you give me this sooner?" "Then you did sleep, yes, all night. I don't know what I would have done if I had taken that pill. By just putting it under my pillow, I had such a wonderful reaction." "You did not take it then?" "No, doctor, and I am not going to take it. But it is going to be under my head beneath my pillow as long as I am in this hospital." "I see," said the doctor. He departed. I did keep the pill, and it became a great joke. Every nurse who stopped at my bed asked, "Do you have your friend the pill yet?" "I sure do." Then they would laugh. Someone would say, "Stephenson, you are a joke."